Hello, my name is Jacob Blazner, and this is my video discussion board on flying in bad weather. So me and a co-pilot are flying on about a 300 nautical mile flight, and we did our pre-flight planning. We saw that there's supposed to be, it's supposed to be IFR the whole entire route. We're supposed to be flying in IMC the whole way. So we knew that probably about halfway through our flight that we were going to be encountering some weather. It's supposed to be light rain. But there's potential that it could build to something heavier. But all we knew is from our pre-flight planning that it was supposed to be light rain, nothing much but rain. So we knew that there was going to be weather in the area along our route, but we were going to stay cautious just in case it happened to build into something bigger. So once we get into the plane, we get about 100 nautical miles into it, and we're talking to the ARTCC. And while we're talking to them, we start hearing a bunch of other aircraft starting to get rerouted due to weather. And so while we're sitting there, we're like, okay, we have to figure out where this weather is, how far away from our location is it going to affect our route? And so we're trying to talk to ARTCC, but they're getting bogged down by all the leader jets, all the regionals. All the bigger jets are trying to get in and get rerouted because they're encountering all this weather. So we're going along our flight and we have to find out where this weather is. So on the Garmin G1000, there will be a weather service page. You have to go onto the auxiliary tab, and then you go to the XM radio, and then there will be a Sirius XM, which you can get a weather service on the G1000 on your MFD, and it'll show you the radar, it'll show you METARs, TAFs, TRFs, it'll show you everything just like if you were sitting at home on your laptop looking at the aviationweather.gov. It'll give you all the information that is needed within a certain product time period, which if that time period goes out, then all that information on there, it's a guesstimate. It's not, this is what's happening. It's okay, we're close to what it's gonna be. So that's one way to get the weather information, but our G1000 at the school that I fly from, we do not have this service. So I personally have never been able to mess around with it, get a feel for it, because I've never had onboard radar. We have little steam gauges, that's the best we have, and maybe a Garmin 430 just to give us GPS so we know where we're going. But the second thing that you can do in the G1000, which is actually really helpful, is that you can push the nearest tab and it'll give you a list of all the nearest airports, and also it'll give you the ARTCC frequencies in your area. It'll give you flight service stations in your area. So if ARTCC, if they're getting bogged down and you can't get a call in order to receive an extra transmission, or not a transmission, in order to receive weather updates, you can contact a flight service station that has a receive R on the top of the VOR information box on your sectional. So if you see that received, then that means that you can receive and they can transmit back to you weather advisories, especially if you can't contact ATC, because there's no way to get into them because they're bogged down and you have to wait. You can't be stepping on other people and making the whole situation worse for everybody that's in the air. Because usually whenever I flew, or whenever I've been flying, the flight service station, I'd always try to find one along my route. I usually didn't fly the G1000, I always had steam gauges. So I would always go into the Garmin 430 and just have my en route ready, and once I get to certain locations, I would know, okay, this is the frequency for the flight service station that's closest to me. I can ask for weather advisories if needed. So I've always done it the old school way, because I've never had the privilege, the chance to use on-air radar other than a tablet, which half the time it's 20 minutes behind, which that won't help me much if there's an embedded thunderstorm 10 minutes in front of me and I think that it's 30 minutes in front of me. and I won't be able to make a correction in time. But the Garmin G1000 has so many little tools that can really help the pilot reduce the workload and really get a lot of information in a short amount of time, and can really help the flight plan. Thank you very much.